All right, so check this out. We're going to do a very unscientific test here, but I want to see how Grok Code Fast handles MCP Playwright for one of my favorite prompts of going to Best Buy and throwing a Nintendo Switch into the cart. So I'm going to tell Grok Code Fast, use the Playwright MCP server to do this task. Go to bestbuy.com, put a Nintendo Switch 2 in the cart. Make sure I'm on the cart page when I'm finished. Why do I care? Well, I think fast inference may showcase a very powerful method of navigating the web autonomously like this. So let's give it a shot, see where it goes, and start the timer here. A little bit late, give it a half second. All right, we're gonna have to restart this test. Give it a second here. Okay, and we're back. All right, so we got the same prompt. This time it just has the right Playwright permissions. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let's just start this first and then fire this off. All right. There we go. 2 seconds of thinking, navigating to Best Buy. 1 second for thought after. And what we're finding here, at least in my initial iterations outside of this video, is that it's only as slow as the Playwright MCP response. We're talking sub-second responses here. Interesting enough, you got this this pop-up here that's kind of taking over the screen, but it's still getting there. Let's see. Clicking browser, click, here we go. And I also believe, since Playwright is viewing the viewport in which you're in, and here we're done. Let's go ahead and let's see when it's done. Done. So 53 seconds, not too bad. I also noticed that it's the same, it depends on the screen size, right? So as you shrink this, you get into a more mobile constrained view. As you enlarge this, of course, you've got more context. And so I've seen it perform better at larger sizes. Just a thought, just an interesting point. Okay, and now just for fun, let's go see this for GPT-5 using the same type of mechanism. All right, we're gonna start this and fire this off. Let's see where this lands. Same screen size, all that, but you can see it's taking its time planning its next moves. When it does that, well, it sits a bit. Seconds in and still no move of the browser. In fact, it isn't even called any of the MCP tooling. It's just reasoning. Now, of course, I picked GPT-5 Medium just because it's the normal default that you'll normally choose. But it's also not the fastest inference, right? It's got quite a bit of reasoning in there. And I actually prefer GPT-5 often for heavy reasoning capabilities. Not always, but generally. And in this case, it's to your detriment. It's taken us a minute just to navigate to the homepage. All right, and we stop. 2 minutes. And it took double the time, and really it just comes down to, I would say it was more efficient in getting to solve the problem. As you see, it just navigated it. Actually, as I realized what happened here, is it correctly identified that it was already in the cart. And so it took 2 minutes and properly identifying it was in the cart. By the way, I did see Grok Code Fast do the same thing. It correctly identified that it was in the cart and finished within 15 seconds. But what's demonstrated here is that even when it didn't even have to add or search, it took 2 precise and efficient actions, but the steps in between are excessive. And so, as a conclusion in my mind, while inference isn't everything, the comparison here is drastic. If the steps in between are taking 1 to 2 seconds and it's only taking as long as the Playwright MCP takes to respond, you end up in a much better world doing navigation and Playwright MCP tasks with fast inference. And Grok Code Fast is killing it, in my opinion.